Ladies and gents, let's have that sneaker conversation, shall we? All right, what do we have here? Yep, the most iconic and the top selling cleat of all time. Adidas Copa Mundial stands for World Cup in Spanish, since it was designed to be released for the World Cup 1982 in Spain, but they released it in 79 instead. Yet it was very, very famous. Legends of the game wore this cleat and been wearing it, starting with Beckenbauer, Maradona before he got sponsored by Puma, I believe. Currently, this thing's still going on. I know they had two versions. One, which is this one, perfect for collectors and is sought after by professionals. This is a made in Germany version that's hand stitched. And the other one, and the most popular, like I can't call it mass produced, but like mass market, is the one that's made in Indonesia. Back in the day, online, when we used to look at these soccer shops or soccer websites, we can tell if it was made in Germany or Indonesia, because if it's made in Germany, it'll say made in Germany. And the Indonesian one will say imported. Right now, if you get on Adidas website or app or any other website, all I've been seeing is imported, so I doubt they are made in Germany. This is size 10 US. Here it says 9.5 UK. I don't know why, but anyways. All right, great cleat, very soft, obviously kangaroo leather. California banned this back in 1971, and till now, even though there's more kangaroos than humans in Australia. They're not extinct, they're not in danger. But anyways, what can we do? Good luck finding one. Now they call them K-leather, so it doesn't say kangaroo, but it is the same. Again, let's go back to this shoe. Was designed for 1982 World Cup in Spain, released in 1979, was worn by legends, still is till today, very popular cleat. And Adidas capitalized on this. They made so many different variants. They started in 2007 when they released the 25-year anniversary one, which is made in Germany. Same exact thing. There's subtle differences. You got the Adidas 3-leaf logo here in blue and white on the tongue instead of this one. Instead of it saying Adidas, here same thing. The label be on top and it says Adidas under it. Only made in Germany, and it came with a bunch of other accessories, towels and all that stuff. And I believe in 2013, they came out with the white one, which is pretty much the reverse of this. White shoe, black stripes. Caught on, a lot of people liked it. Personally, not a fan of white on black. I like the black and white. This is my favorite Adidas classic look, especially with this this design on the ends of the stripes. It's very, very classic. It looks really good. That's my opinion. So I wasn't a fan of the white and black, but it caught on to the point that Adidas got comfortable and ended up, I think in 2014, coming up with this, what they call Samba pack, with all these colorful colors and stuff, but I don't think it did good. It actually did good with the Adi Zero and the Adi Pure and the other more modern cleats than with the Sambas. In 2016, Adidas started trying to modernize this, so they came out with the Copa 16.1 or 16 SL. You know, I believe SL is either synthetic leather or super light. I've never actually bought that cleat because just the idea of buying a Copa that's made out of synthetic leather. Never been a fan of synthetic. I'm a huge fan of leather cleats, old school, obviously, you know, and that one did not do good at all. But that was the start of all that modernization and the spin-offs of the Copas. In 2018, however, for World Cup in Russia, Adidas released, they designed a cleat that's all black. Even the stripes are black. This is black. Only the stitching is white. and they only released it to referees. It had the World Cup logo here, and it said like World Cup 2018 Russia. Beautiful cleat, but it was released to the refs for that tournament. But anyways, a lot of that, after that, a lot of the Copas, modern Copas came out. Don't take me wrong, I like them. I've owned the top ones. Usually it's either 0.1 or 0.2. The only thing, like from the 17.1, then 17.2, then 18.1, and so on and so forth. The only thing I didn't like, I believe it was the 19 plus and 19.1, because it was didn't have a shoelace, and I'm not a fan of those cleats, and I don't think it did good either. But anyways, they're still making Copa, you know, modern, Goloro, or multiple names. I kind of lost count now, you know. But when this came out, this was the cleat. For 79 to 82, in that era, there were no cleats like this. This thing revolutionized the cleats. Because if you look at the Diadora, the match winner, the Baggio or Roberto Baggio, or Brazil, or the Lotto Classic, I forgot what it's called. You know, these weren't in the early 80s or end of the 70s. Those were like late 80s, early 90s. You know, so they all adapted it. This revolutionized the cleats. You know, modernized it. This is like the modern, imagine this back in 79, you know. Right now, people are using this. A lot of legends and famous players that retired and turned into coaching and became coachers, they started, if you pay attention to them, regardless of what they wore back in the day, they still end up using these cleats when they're coaching their teams. You'll catch them in the training sessions wearing this cleat, especially if the team they're coaching is sponsored by Adidas. But mainly they look for this, and of course the made in Germany one, hand stitched. If the team's sponsored by Adidas, most likely Adidas obviously is gonna supply them with these, but they request these. There's plenty of these. You got the Predators, you got all these funky new cleats, you know, but you'll see them always wearing this, you know. It's a testament to perfection. I love the soft ground version of this with the 4 studs here and 2 in the back, with that nice shred and white and with the Adidas logo and all that. I never owned one, unfortunately, but I didn't play in soft ground, so these are for firm ground. So anyways, great cleat. You know, you don't need to like improve. There's nothing to improve about this cleat. If you're into the soft kangaroo leather, into these molded polyurethane base, I don't think you would need them to change anything. Even the colorway is a perfect colorway. Like, the only way I will look into something different than this, I will try either the all black, which is second to this, or the 25 anniversary, because it has these subtle, like the Adidas logo, this color, you know, the same exact color scheme here and on the back. That's the only way, but that's just very, very subtle changes and differences. Again, when this shoe came out, made a big impact in the soccer world. There's multiple variants, a lot of spin-offs, a lot of collaboration. I have some here that I will show you. One of my favorite is that OG indoor. So for Copa Mundial, they have the Copa Mundial for firm ground cleat version, which is this one. They had the World Cup, which is for soft ground, the one that I mentioned earlier with the 6 studs. They have the Mundial team, which was black and white, same thing. I had a pair, didn't like it, almost lost my ankles a couple of times, so that's another version. But this is what it was. It was like, pretty much you'll see referees used to wear this, especially if they're playing on AstroTurf. If they're reffing on AstroTurf, you'll see them wearing this setup. Of course, it was black, kangaroo leather, white stripes. You know, this is a different variant that they came out with, this one, and they came out with a tan one sometime last year. All right, but the same thing. It's called Mondial Team. You know, this was supposed to be the indoor shoe, you know, and turf shoe, sorry. And then they also came out with my favorite for everyday. Ooh, that's another Copa Mundial. I guess I put it in the wrong box. Anyways, let's see what this one. Wow, that's another made in Germany. Guys, I didn't know that I had two. Hey, look at this. Oh yeah, because I'm wearing that Mondial Gold. That's the one that I usually use because I buy two of each, minimum. Yep. Now I know that I have two Copa Mundials and made in Germany. That's awesome. Different tag on this one. Doesn't have that blue and white, but it is made in Germany right there. Hey, let's see how much I got this for. No, that can't be. Nah, that's not it. There's no way it's 16 bucks. But anyways, Copa Mondial Gold will be the same thing like the Mondial Team, but indoor. Excellent shoe, very comfortable. I'll do a video on it later. I don't want to turn this off and go look for something else right now. Then they also later on came out with the Copa Super. I prefer the Mondial Gold better because I'm not a fan of this. This is not it is for like lifestyle, like you want to wear it with jeans, look good, but it's not functional, meaning you cannot use this to play with. The other one you can. I would not mess up the kangaroo leather, but you can mess with this, you know, with the other one, not this one. But this looks good. Doesn't have that zigzag here. It's just more modern. This is what now, when you look at cleats like, you know, Copa, you know, 18s and 19s and 20 point this and that, this what it is, you know. The Copa, if you pay attention to anything that has a super on it, like Samba Super, all the other supers, they have the original 3-leaf logo, like this. But for the Copa, they kept it with the Adidas equipment logo, you know? It's exactly the same setup like the Samba Super, you know? The Samba Super is more, it has the same exact look. It just has that more classic look than this. This has the more modern look. So they have, so now we went through the team, the goal, Copa Mundial. Alrighty, so they also came out with something called Copa Premier. Let's see what that looks like, I don't remember. There you go. So let's see what they adapted here. So they got back with this classic stripes. They brought back the old school logo. The tongue is very short. Like it's like perfectly symmetrical with this. It's leather. I like leather shoes. They, once you wear them, stretch them out, they take the shape of your foot, and that's the most comfortable. Similar to the Samba. Similar to the Samba. Also, most likely they try to incorporate the Samba with the Copa. You know, you start running out of ideas, man. You just try to make anything. All right, and what else? Now this looks really good. Sorry, it's a smaller size. I have the original sizes, but I didn't want to bring them down because I had this one here. I bought originally. Kit, but voila! Look at that. See, they incorporated the actual Copa Mundial design for this Bosnia. This is skater shoe. You can cut the tongue. I'm against cutting the tongue. I love how this flares out. It's a lot of people have a problem wearing these like skater shoes, especially these ones, because the padding that's here where it makes it flares out looks like you're wearing an ankle bracelet when you're wearing it. But I like it. It's very comfortable, shoe to size, of course for the 10.5 that I wear. I love that red accent, beautiful touch to it. Makes it stands out, especially this too. Beautiful logo. Good leather. I think it's full grain leather because you can't put no softer leather than this. You know, these shoes will get destroyed if you're actually putting them to what they were made for, which is skateboarding. You know? But there's plenty of spin-offs and collabs, all started from that iconic Copa Mundial. So if you guys have any questions, if you have any other models that I didn't touch on, please send me that model or write them in the comments below to see if I have some, because I have to dig through my stash. Obviously you've seen the stash, there's a lot. I might find it and also display it on this, because the goal is to do videos where I bring the original, like I have the original 98 Predator, I have the original 2002 Predator, and I want to put all the spin-offs and the collabs that they made, which is the most popular Predator that I've seen, that they do a lot of spin-offs and collaborations based on its original silhouette, is the 98. Not the 94, the OG, nor the ones that came after. Maybe the 02 comes right after the 98 in popularity, but the 98 Predator was the ultimate Predator, like most popular Predator, the Predator Accelerator. Anyways, thank you for joining. Till next episode. Ciao.